The Gulf of Mexico has always had this large role. It has potential role in understanding climate.
More than 50 million people live around the rim of the Gulf of Mexico, so it's an important societally and economically, and it's important globally.
Year to year, we have hurricanes and tropical storms. The Gulf of Mexico is a large marine ecosystem, and it's a large environment.
It's a very dynamic ocean. The loop current comes through there, so that's this very strong current that becomes the Gulf Stream, and that's just happening at the surface.
How do we look at what's going on down there? And how does that affect all of these natural and man-made phenomenon? And so that's kind of where the Stones opportunity came from.
How can we utilize that data for a wider community instead of just oil and gas or just shale?
They're opening it up to researchers to put their own equipment on.
We can bring folks with us, our partners like University of Southern Mississippi and Texas A&M, and people can do some oceanographic work while we're doing the servicing of the mooring.
Really excited that Shell would move forward with such a visionary idea.
Prospects of getting near real-time data back from the deep Gulf, we're pretty excited by that.
So I teach a lot of the data methods classes in the Department of Oceanography. I work in the ocean and I bring that information right to the student, right inside the classroom. So they like to see the context, they like to see the data. It's that proof that leads to better understanding.
So I'm interested in measuring how much CO2 is in the water near the mooring, because we know CO2 is changing in the atmosphere. But how those changes translate to changes in the ocean could be really important for how things might change in the future.
It's also going to include autonomous technologies as well, things like underwater gliders.
This is an autonomous vehicle. Go out on the research vessel, put this in the water, fully unattended, 365 days out of the year, either using the mooring as a center line or an endpoint, and then we can work on extracting out a 3D to 4D image of what's going on out in the Gulf in that area.
We need to collect that data. We need to understand what is going on down there.
And that affects both industry, private lives, fishing industry, oil industry. Everybody in the Gulf of Mexico is affected by what's going on in the Gulf of Mexico as a whole, not just in the coastal environment, but also in the deep Gulf.
Whatever instrument we put on there, that would be a long-term time series measurement. We are talking about decades.
Having a long-term mooring at 3,000 meters in any body of water is a scientist's dream.
And we can use that as a model to build potentially more of these systems. And so then we keep adding to that and we keep building our knowledge. It's that public-private partnership, that we're going to build for the next 2 decades and more. And then bringing that data to life, developing it into something that really connects people to the deep sea.